Just a few nights ago, the Philippines shook again.
Another major story developing this hour. At least 69 people have been killed and, officials have said nearly 150 injured after a 6.9 magnitude earthquake in the Philippines.
A massive 6.9 magnitude earthquake struck near Cebu, sending shockwaves across the region. In a matter of seconds, home is rattled, power lines swayed,
Earthquake!
and terrified families rushed outside as the ground split beneath them. Streets that were once quiet, filled with cries, prayers, and disbelief. For many Filipinos, this wasn't the first time they'd felt the earth move like that. And sadly, it won't be the last. Because deep beneath the islands lies one of the most dangerous geological zones in the entire world. The Philippines isn't just a beautiful tropical country. It's a nation sitting right on the edge of constant tension, where massive tectonic plates are always in motion, slowly building pressure until they finally snap. Every few hours, somewhere in the country, a small tremor shakes the ground. Most go unnoticed, but some grow into destructive earthquakes that leave lasting scars on lives, homes, and cities. Yet, despite how common these quakes are, very few people truly understand why this keeps happening. Why does the Philippines experience so many earthquakes compared to most countries on Earth? What is happening beneath its soil that makes it one of the most active seismic zones on the planet? In this video, we're going deep below the surface to uncover the science, the danger, and the future of a country that's literally living on the edge of the Earth. So before we start this journey, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you'll never miss any video that could one day help you understand, prepare, and stay safe. It was a night that no one in Cebu will ever forget. The clock had barely struck 10 when the ground began to move. At first, it felt like a gentle vibration underfoot, but within seconds, it turned violent. The walls shook, furniture tumbled, and the sound of cracking concrete echoed through the city. A powerful 6.9 magnitude earthquake had struck, sending people rushing into the streets, holding children close, and searching for safety in the darkness. Power went out in many areas, and only the glow of flashlights and phones cut through the chaos. Scientists from Fivolcs quickly confirmed the quake's strength and depth, explaining that it was caused by the movement of a local fault line deep beneath the Visayas region. Within hours, global monitoring centers like USGS and Reuters reported its impact, showing how the Philippines remains one of the most earthquake-prone countries on the planet. But behind every tremor lies a deeper truth. These earthquakes are not random. They are part of a much larger story, one that begins far beneath the islands, in a place where the Earth itself is constantly in motion. To understand why this keeps happening, we have to look beyond the surface and uncover what's really happening under the Philippines. The Philippines lies in one of the most unpredictable regions on Earth, a massive area known as the Pacific Ring of Fire. This ring stretches around the edges of the Pacific Ocean, touching countries like Japan, Indonesia, and New Zealand, but few places feel its power as often as the Philippines. It's a region where the Earth's outer shell, made up of giant tectonic plates, is constantly shifting. These plates slide, collide, and grind against each other, building pressure deep below the surface until it finally releases in the form of an earthquake or volcanic eruption. The Philippine Islands were born from this same violent process. Over millions of years, volcanic eruptions and shifting plates shaped the land, forming the mountains and islands that now make up the nation. That beauty came at a cost. The same forces that built this country still move beneath it, creating a constant risk of earthquakes, tsunamis, and eruptions. Experts describe the Philippines as one of the most active parts of the Ring of Fire, with more than 1,000 earthquakes recorded each year. Most are too small to feel, but others, like the recent 6.9 magnitude quake in Cebu, serve as reminders that the country sits on a restless foundation. It's not just luck or bad timing, it's geography. The Philippines exists at the meeting point of several powerful tectonic plates, each one pushing and pulling at the land, shaping its future every single day. Living here means living with movement. The ground beneath every home and city is part of a living system that never stops changing. It's a reminder that the same natural forces that give the Philippines its breathtaking landscapes are also the ones that make it one of the most earthquake-prone places on the planet. Beneath the surface of the Philippines lies a complex web of cracks known as fault lines. These are the weak points in the Earth's crust, where tectonic plates meet or move past each other. They may seem invisible, but they hold immense power. And when that power is released, it can change entire landscapes in seconds. One of the most well-known is the Philippine Fault Zone, a massive line that stretches more than 1,200 kilometers across the country from Luzon to Mindanao. This single fault has been responsible for many of the strongest quakes in the nation's history. Another major one is the West Valley Fault, which runs directly beneath Metro Manila and nearby provinces. Experts from Fivolks warn that this fault is capable of producing a powerful earthquake at any time, something often referred to as the Big One. But these aren't the only threats. There are dozens of smaller active faults scattered across the islands, some mapped, others still being discovered. Many of them pass under towns, roads, and even schools. Over time, as the Earth continues to shift, these hidden cracks slowly move, building tension that can stay silent for decades before releasing without warning. Scientists use advanced tools to study these faults, measuring every tiny movement in the ground. Their goal is not to stop earthquakes, because that's impossible, but to understand where the next one might strike so that people can prepare and stay safe. Every line drawn on a map tells a story of the country's living ground, constantly reminding everyone that the Philippines is not just sitting on land, but on a system that never sleeps. The Philippines experiences thousands of earthquakes every year. Most are too small to notice, but some grow strong enough to destroy buildings and reshape cities. The reason is simple but powerful. The country sits at the meeting point of several massive tectonic plates: the Philippine Sea Plate, the Eurasian Plate, and smaller microplates that constantly push against one another. This collision makes the ground beneath the nation one of the most active on Earth. Each time these plates move, even slightly, they release energy. Sometimes that energy escapes quietly as small tremors. Other times, it builds up for years, even centuries, until it suddenly bursts out as a major earthquake. That's what happened in the 6.9 magnitude quake in Cebu, and in many other historic disasters across the islands. Because of its location, the Philippines doesn't just get earthquakes from one direction. It's surrounded by multiple sources of pressure. The Philippine Trench to the east and the Manila Trench to the west both play a huge role in creating frequent seismic activity. It's like the country is being pulled from both sides, constantly adjusting to the slow, unstoppable motion of the Earth. According to Fivolks and the U.S. Geological Survey, this constant movement is completely natural. It's part of how the planet renews itself. The same energy that causes destruction also forms mountains, islands, and even new land over time. The Philippines is a living example of this cycle, a place shaped and reshaped by the power of the Earth. Every tremor, no matter how small, is a reminder of this truth. The ground beneath every Filipino's feet is never truly still. It's alive, always shifting, and always reminding us that this country stands in one of the most dynamic regions of the planet. No matter how advanced science becomes, the Earth still reminds us that it cannot be fully controlled. Earthquakes strike without warning. Volcanoes erupt when pressure deep below reaches a breaking point. Even with the best technology, there's no exact way to predict the time or place of the next disaster. Scientists can study patterns, measure movements, and issue alerts, but nature always moves on its own schedule. In the Philippines, this unpredictability is part of daily life. People have learned to live with the constant possibility of the ground shaking or a volcano coming alive. While early warning systems from Fivolks and international observatories have saved many lives, they can only do so much. The true power of an earthquake or eruption lies deep beneath the Earth, far beyond human reach. Every event teaches new lessons. After each quake, experts analyze data, improve building designs, and strengthen communities. The goal isn't to stop nature, that's impossible, but to understand it better. Preparation, awareness, and education have become the best defenses against the unknown. The Earth moves according to forces that began long before humans ever walked the planet. It is a system that has been shaping the world for billions of years, creating continents, oceans, and islands. Living in the Philippines means living with that reality, knowing that the same earth that provides life can also remind us in an instant just how fragile everything truly is. Every earthquake leaves behind more than cracks in the ground. It leaves stories of fear, loss, and resilience that never truly fade. Across the Philippines, these memories live in the hearts of families and in the ruins that remind people how powerful nature can be. One of the darkest days came on July 16, 1990, when a magnitude 7.8 earthquake struck Luzon. Entire buildings collapsed in Baguio, highways split apart, and over 1,600 lives were lost. For days, rescuers struggled to reach survivors trapped beneath the rubble. That moment changed how the nation looked at safety, structure, and survival. Then, in October 2013, a 7.2 magnitude quake hit Bohol. Toppling centuries-old churches and destroying thousands of homes. The ground itself shifted, tearing open the landscape and reshaping the island forever. But even in ruin, people came together, rebuilding brick by brick. And recently, the 6.9 magnitude earthquake that struck Mindanao shook millions awake once again. Buildings swayed, people ran into the streets, and for a moment, silence filled the air. The kind of silence that only comes after the earth roars. Yet, amid fear, there was hope. Communities opened their doors, strangers helped one another, and rescue teams worked through the night to save lives. These are not just moments in history. They are reminders of strength, courage, and unity. Every time the ground shakes, the Filipino spirit rises a little higher. If someday earthquakes could be predicted or prevented, how different do you think life in the Philippines would be? Would people finally feel safe, or would they still live with that deep respect for nature's power? I'm waiting to hear your thoughts. Share them in the comments below. After every major quake, one question always echoes across the Philippines. Can the next one be stopped or at least predicted before it strikes? Scientists have spent decades studying this mystery, hoping to find a way to protect millions before disaster strikes again. Unfortunately, earthquakes remain one of the hardest natural events to predict. Deep beneath the surface, massive tectonic plates are always moving, grinding, and building pressure. That pressure can take years, even centuries, to release. Scientists can measure the tension, track fault movements, and record microquakes, but they still can't pinpoint the exact moment when the next big one will happen. What they can do, however, is warn and prepare. The Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology, FIVOL-CISES, operates a national network of sensors that detect tremors in real time. These tools help issue alerts within seconds, giving people just enough time to take cover. In major cities like Manila and Davao, building codes are being updated to withstand stronger quakes, and schools regularly conduct earthquake drills. These small steps save lives, even when nature strikes without warning. Around the world, scientists are using AI models, satellite data, and deep Earth sensors to study subtle ground shifts and atmospheric changes that could hint at future quakes. Japan and the United States have made progress in early warning systems, and the Philippines is learning from them step by step. The truth is, earthquakes cannot be stopped, but they can be survived with knowledge, strong communities, and constant readiness. Every Filipino who learns what to do before, during, and after a quake becomes part of that silent defense against disaster. And if you believe that raising awareness and preparing together can make a difference for every Filipino family, then take a moment to like this video. It helps spread information that could save lives. Through every quake, every aftershock, and every sleepless night, one truth has remained unshaken. The Filipino spirit never breaks. Time and again, the ground may move, but the hearts of the people stand firm. From Luzon to Mindanao, every disaster has revealed something stronger than destruction, the unity of a nation that refuses to give up. After each tragedy, communities rebuild not just homes, but hope. Families share food, neighbors help strangers, and people pray together even when the earth beneath them still trembles. That quiet strength is what defines the Philippines. During the 1990 Luzon earthquake, volunteers traveled from distant provinces just to dig through rubble with their bare hands. In Bohol, after the 2013 quake, locals rebuilt centuries-old churches piece by piece, preserving their culture and faith. And now, in Mindanao, after the recent 6.9 magnitude quake, the same story repeats. Resilience, compassion, and courage standing tall against fear. This strength doesn't come from wealth or technology. It comes from people, from their deep faith, from families holding on to one another, and from a nation that believes that every fall is a chance to rise higher. The Philippines may be one of the most disaster-prone countries in the world, but it is also one of the most courageous. From the 6.9 magnitude earthquake that shook Mindanao to the stories of courage across Luzon and Bohol, one truth remains. The Philippines may tremble, but its people never fall. Each time the earth moves, it reveals something stronger than the shaking ground. The unity, faith, and kindness that define the Filipino spirit. Even when fear fills the night, hope always finds a way back. Neighbors help each other, communities rebuild, and families pray for strength. That's what keeps this nation standing tall no matter how many times it's tested. If you believe this strength deserves to be seen, like this video, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so more people can witness the courage of the Filipino people. And if this video touched you, share it with your friends and family. And tell us in the comments what hope means to you. Today, the whole world stands with the Philippines. Nations watch not just the disasters, but the strength that rises after them. The Filipino spirit, brave, kind, and unbreakable, is something the entire world salutes. And to those who lost their lives in this recent earthquake, and to every family who continues to heal, our hearts go out to you. You are not alone. The world mourns with you and prays for peace, comfort, and recovery across the Philippines. Because even when the earth shakes, the courage of the Filipino people moves the world.